Hello, my name's Doug, and I'm the Head of Technology and Service at Grant McGregor Limited. We're an Edinburgh-based IT managed service provider, and we support organizations with implementing, training, and day-to-day use of CRM platforms. Today, we're taking a look at HaloCRM and how it brings together sales, projects, marketing, and customer service all into one place.
Hi everyone, I'm Joe from Halo. Halo CRM is Halo's newest offering. It's geared towards sales and marketing teams that would like to build pipeline management, automate campaigns and sequences, as well as delivering customer service. And this is what we'll be focusing on today. If I jump into a trial of Halo CRM, this is the screen I'm presented with initially. Now, to start with, on the left-hand side, these will be all the modules that you have access to. This can either be determined by the global modules that are enabled, depending on what your organization would like to use, or it can be restricted based on your permissions and roles in the system. If I jump into the configuration here, all of the modules are included as standard. So if I would like to use maybe the chat functionality or purchase orders, I can simply hover over those icons and enable them. You don't have to pay for any add-ons or extra features to use any functionality, and there's no tiered pricing. So you have access to Halo out of the box and all the features available. That is also true for all the integrations. So if I jump into the integrations here, this will list over 300 integrations that we at Halo have built natively. And again, you can hover over each of the modules and enable it exactly what you'd like to use. Now in Halo, you can change your own colors and preferences. So if you'd like to tailor the look and feel of Halo outside of what the modules you use, you can simply update your preferences. So in the top right, if I click on my account and then go to my preferences tab, I can change the appearance of Halo. So in here, if you prefer more of a dark theme, I can set that. If you'd prefer to have a different navigation menu color, you can update the colors here as well and just save those details and tailor the look and feel of Halo here. Okay. Now, as you log in, depending on your role and permissions, you'll then be presented with a dashboard below. My role in the trial is more sales focused, so I can see all of my key sales stats at a glance. So I can see any leads that are unassigned that anyone can claim, any follow-ups assigned to me directly that I may want to jump in on, and any hot opportunities assigned to me directly. You've got some pipeline figures by industry overall, by stage as well, and this can be completely tailored. If you are focused on a different role, marketing, service, or anything else, then you can simply change your preference and determine what dashboard you would like to use as your home screen instead. Jumping into the modules, I'll talk on the accounts first. So all of the customers, the companies that you work with will be listed in this account section. There is a split between the accounts you're actively working with and the prospect accounts you're potentially going to be doing business with. These will be the ones that you have opportunities and leads for, and the accounts here will be the ones that you're servicing and have had a successful deal with. Clicking into any of the companies will give you a key overview overall. So any open records, so tickets, leads, opportunities, any notes and activity on that account. You can look at the key details here, any address, any relationship type, maybe the sector or the type of company they are, and all of this can be completely configurable based on your company's needs. Linked to the account will be a list of sites and locations if you choose to track those, as well as the contacts that fall beneath them. Under each, you'll have a very similar view where you can see the key details of that contact, an overview of all of their activity. And again, you can drill down into records and sales to define exactly what you'd like to look at. On any property in Halo, any entity, if you'd like to create more fields, it's super easy to do. So if I go across into configuration to track more information against these contacts, I can go across into the custom objects, custom fields, And in here, I can choose the entity I'm going to create a new custom field for. Halo is almost completely codeless, so everything that you configure in the system is just drag and drop and typing away. So you don't need to learn any coding language or make any development changes for Halo to work. If I change the entity to a contact, I can then add a new preference in. So for this, I could just say favorite team and track the information there. I can choose the type. So if I want to leave it as freeform, I can leave it as text. If I wanted to give them more of a selection for us to be able to use and build audiences or segments of that data, then I can use this here. So for now, I'll just leave 2 choices, and I can change where I want that field to be placed. So I can choose which tab I'd like that to appear on. In this case, I'll just have it show in the details tab, and I can save that here. Now, if I go back to accounts, I can click directly into the contacts. So you can go either through the account and down to the contacts, or in the contacts here, and I can search for who I want to set their favorite team as and edit that information in here as well. Okay. You can create an unlimited number of custom fields, and then using that data, you can build segments and audiences of that data. So if I wanted to create a group of people, that's favorite team is Ipswich Town, I can create a new segment in here, define the name, and then choose the members I'm going to add. Now with segments, you can choose either to have a static list, which is the default, or you can choose to use a dynamic list. You have options on who or which type of entity you'd like to create an audience for, and that will either be the contacts and prospects in the system, which will link directly to the contacts and the prospects in here, or it could be linked to the tickets, the records, and the opportunities that you have in the system. So you can use either. You can build a group of opportunities and put them on an outreach sequence, or you can build a group of contacts and just send them out some marketing content as well. In here, any property that's recorded against the account or the contact can then be used to build that group. So if I was to say search favorite football team, I can now select that field and just choose what I'd like to include. As soon as I've saved that, it will then build a list of the members that are presented here. I can very quickly send emails to them if I wanted to update them, or if you have a list of important contacts that you'd like to send an email to really quickly, you can do this here. Alternatively, if you'd like to build a campaign or a newsletter to send out to that group, you can instead use the campaigns module. In here, if I click into a campaign, campaigns can either be blast or scheduled or nurture campaigns. So when you create a blast campaign, it sends it out to everyone in that group. And if it's nurture, it's a sequence of emails that get sent to them as they're added to that group, either on a schedule, so the same time every day, everyone that new that's get added to that audience will be sent those emails, or as they're added, so instantly as they're added to that group, they'll automatically be set on the schedule. On the email setup, you can control what the email content looks like. This will be the email designer, so you can drag and drop images in, change any information you need, and tailor the email experience here as well. Once you're happy with your email design, you can choose that it's ready, and you can choose when that sends. So it could be as soon as that campaign starts, or a specific date and time, or a delay after that campaign starts. With this, you just need to link the campaign to the segment. So in here, if I wanted to target the Ipswich Town fans, I can save the campaign and link it to that segment. Okay. Now, on the left-hand side, if I go into opportunities and leads, this will list all the sales that you have inside of the platform. These are split between the inbound leads you get and the opportunities, so the qualified leads that you have. And when you create them, you can control exactly what information that you want to present. As soon as I click new, I'm presented with this screen here, and this is what it will look like for raising a lead manually in the system. You can obviously have different sources connected to Halo, so it could be your website and embedded forms, the forms you can build in Halo yourself and embed those into your website. It could be mailboxes that you have connected, or it could be any number of integrations with social media or any other platform that you use. In here, I can search for the prospect that I'd like to log it against or the existing account. So if it is an existing company that you're looking to upsell, then I can link it here. The leads are super quick to log, so I can just fill in a summary, a source, and a potential value. But at this stage, nothing's mandatory. You can go straight to an opportunity, and at this point, more information is required. So you can control exactly what type of deal or sale you'd like to raise. If I don't know any more information, I can just put some information in here. So I could say contact form from website and log this particular lead. Every record in the system will then use its own workflow along the top. So in the lead, this will be the lead workflow. And as you progress through, it will move across these chevrons at the top. On the right-hand side, you've got some key information about the contact. So the contact name, the account, any information that you track there, any other open records. And then you've got the key opportunity and sales information as well. Along the top, you have the actions, and you would use these to progress it along in the workflow. So if I was to flag that this is contacted, I can flag how I made contact, when that was done, and put some notes in. You can suggest exactly what information is going to be required. So all the actions that you see here can be completely tailored and configured to your requirements. At each point, as it progresses along, you control what fields are required. And in some cases, in implementations that I've led, you can connect this to other integrations to maybe go to Companies House and do credit checks, or any other tool that you need. On the left-hand side, when you're viewing all the leads and opportunities, you can control what view that is. So on the left-hand side, I've got my list that I'm on. So today's plan. This will look at any lead that doesn't have a follow-up date or with a follow-up date due today. To schedule those in, you would simply jump into the lead, and then you can add activities. So these will be the tasks that are linked to a particular deal. They can sync directly with Outlook and Google Calendars if you wanted to, or just exist purely inside of Halo. You have different types of viewing Halo. So if I wanted to instead view this in more of a pipeline view, I can click on the pipeline and see exactly what stage these leads are at. And the pipelines can change depending on where you are. So if it's leads, this could be the pipeline I need for leads, and it's drag and drop. I can move these along. But if it's opportunities, it can have a separate pipeline to track negotiation, proposal, or whatever stages you have. It's fully configurable. Once they are a live customer, you can support them with the customer service and the ticketing modules inside of Halo. In here, this will be all the tickets that you have inside of the platform, and these can be split by team or resolve a group in here. In the trials, there's customer service and complaints. Again, similar to leads, tickets can be created through various sources. So it's an omni-channel approach where we aim for Halo to be the master source of all your customer service needs. All tickets can be created inside of here and then placed in the relevant bucket that's assigned to them or the relevant team here. As you see, when you click into a ticket, you have a similar structure to the lead and opportunity. So the workflow on the top, the details on the right-hand panel, and key ticket information as well. There's also suggestions. So if you do have a knowledge base inside of Halo and the ticket or the inquiry made matches any documents that you store internally, it can then provide you suggestions for how to resolve particular tickets. In here, if I want to progress through the workflow, I can reply to tickets or I can escalate them. So if I need a hand with this, I'm forced at this point when I click escalate to provide some details and justification for escalation. And I can save this here. This can progress and escalate to different teams and individuals automatically. It can send notifications on any trigger or property that you define. Once you're happy and once you want to resolve the ticket, you can then close the ticket here. At this point, you can also use surveys and feedback. So once you're happy that the ticket's been closed, you can send this over to the customer to rate your support. These can be simple one-click feedbacks like they are here, or they can be more formal surveys where you ask a series of questions and store their responses. When you're viewing the tickets, all of them can be listed in the view here, and similarly, you can change how you view it. In this case, if you prefer to work more similarly to Outlook, you can have the tickets list open on the left-hand side and work more from a panel here. You can change the filter. So if you have any tickets that are awaiting a supplier maybe or a customer for their response, you can change it to look at any tickets or records, including SLA hold as well. With all of the data that's tracked against the accounts and the contacts, so the service element, the emails that have been sent on marketing, and the leads and opportunities you gather, you can build reports and dashboards to track that information. On here, if I wanted to report, to maybe look at the feedback that's been stored and all the tickets, I can have a look here. If I'd like to change any information, like the reporting period, I can update that and just check the reporting period for all time. If I'd like to add any filters, it's a simple case of adding filters in here. So if I like to filter just on specific technicians, I can choose just to include myself here or anyone else that pops up in the report. Using those reports, you can combine them together to then build dashboards. And these can track any information. So any information that's recorded inside of Halo, either through actions that you perform, data imported in, or through the integrations, can then be reported on inside of Halo's database. The reports can be written through a query builder where you select exactly what you'd like to report on. It can be written through AI. So you can provide it a prompt. It will have access to our schema and it will give you the report that you need. Or there's a list in our repository of 1,000 reports that we at Halo have built over time during the implementations we've delivered.
Thanks for joining us today and watching that presentation. If you're interested in getting started with HaloCRM, feel free to get in touch through our website to explore your options or start a free trial.